episode of Hourglass. And yeah, if you don't know who I am, my name is l.shima. So let me introduce everyone to the fabulous Stephen Crosson.
I'm not that fabulous.
You know, you're fabulous. So people can see you now. So whatever your facial expression is, people see it.
I got it.
They know it. All right, Stephen. Everyone, welcome Stephen Crosson to the show. He's actually the first guest in my new brand spanking new studio environment. I was just telling him all the dilemma of getting this together and everything. But yeah, Stephen, like I told you, but I'm just kind of repeating it for everyone else on the show. This is your moment to shine, to share whatever you want to share to your fans, to my fans, and whoever else might be just randomly tuning in. Be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else, of course.
I'm going to be...
Oof.
Kill
Oh, I can't even handle this right now. I think I need to turn around.
I zip it from the top down, because then I just,
See, and Stephen told me when he walked in that he was planning on actually just dressing he was planning on wearing like a denim shirt, but then he overheard my podcast last time that I was going to be like in sweats.
So she got me bumming it by myself right now.
I mean...
it's cool though.
But he looks good, right? Yeah, see? But I mean, he's styling with the Nike. Yeah, exactly. And then, man, like if only I should just do like move the camera to your feet and just do the episode on your feet, basically. So for just those that may not know, can you just kind of give me a gist on who you are, what you do for a living in a sense, other than finding people jobs? Yeah.
Okay. But say that part's not that exciting. Outside of the day job, I do, of course, photography. I've grown up around it, kind of, so to speak. So it's kind of in my blood. My dad, I didn't know he was a photographer. I knew he was a videographer, but not a photographer. It wasn't until I picked up a camera. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget the awesome little mini mic.
It wasn't until I picked up a camera.
Perfect.
That's my Alan Almond voice.
Ooh.
But it wasn't until I picked up a camera 2010, kind of, when I got my first one for Christmas, that I got his old camera bag. His old leather camera bag from like the 70s.
Oh, really?
So
vintage.
Yeah. This thing actually works. I can hear myself.
Yeah. It's interesting too, right?
Very.
I know.
But I still have that bag. Actually, I should have brought it. But yeah, it's a pretty good leather bag, and basically it was like a good thing to carry around, because everybody used to always ask me like, man, where'd you get that bag from?
Yeah.
Like, it's my dad's from the 70s. They're like, oh dang. So.
And so you knew your dad was a videographer, but not a photographer. So did he teach you the ropes?
No.
Did you ask or?
No.
Really?
I did not. And even now, like when I show him stuff, sometimes he's like, man, you surpassed me.
Really?
So, because he actually used to travel. He worked for, I want to say it was JCPenney or Kmart. So he used to travel, or Smile America or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He used to have to go to like Ohio and other places to take pictures of kids and whatever else, like for like family pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
And me, on the other hand, I can't say that. But me, on the other hand, I do stuff like that, but I prefer to do more fashion and things of that nature. So when he sees my work, he's like, man, you really like surpassed what I do or what I've done and whatever else. So I didn't really have mentors.
Really?
So truth be told about the whole photography thing, honestly, with anything that I've picked up, like whether it be Photoshop, photography, video, well, I take back video. But for those two things particularly, I've really done it myself. I've had one photography class at OCC, nothing else after that.
What is OCC?
Oakland Community College.
Got it.
Oh yeah,
I would have picked it up, but maybe somebody else would have.
Like,
yeah.
From the OC, but no. I had one photography class, and the guy's name was David something, I forget, but he was a pretty peculiar teacher.
I can imagine, right?
Because he used to always say, like, back in the days when him and Moses were privates and things of that nature, so he's like an older guy. So yeah, I'll say he has taught me certain things, or at least explained them more clearly, because when I went in there, I didn't have a full understanding of like shutter speed and aperture and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I knew what they were, but I didn't understand like the compensations that you have to take and things of that nature. So he did kind of teach me that, or at least the basics of it. And just for me playing around with the settings and things of that nature, because I don't shoot in auto at all.
Oh, really?
I've learned just from trial and error of how to accurately or appropriately compensate for shutter speed, for aperture, for your f-stop, for things of that nature. And it's very time consuming sometimes if you don't catch it in the right moment. So,
but that's interesting. So a lot like with the f-stop and aperture, how long in your mind did it take you to kind of grasp that concept?
I think once I started to really relate it to the human eye, that's when it got a little bit easier.
Really?
Yeah, because of course I wear glasses, so I used to have to get my eyes checked and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And I've learned that whenever there's a lot of light in your eye, of course your pupil dilates.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm sorry, it gets smaller. So yeah. And then when it's less light, it opens up. Same thing with your f-stop aperture and all the shutter speed and things of that nature. The lower your f-stop, of course, when I say lower, I actually mean like 4. Some people actually say like 22 and things. I say 4. So the lower your f-stop, the more open your lens is, but the higher the number, the more closed it is, so the less light comes in. So it definitely like gets kind of, yeah. I saw your face.
No, because that's why one of the reasons why when I took the classes at community college in Austin, that was the part I could not grasp for the life of me. All of the instructors would say it over and again, and then eventually stop because they're like, okay, well, at this point you need to know this. And I couldn't, and like, even when they would start doing the mathematical equations for it too, like, can you do that, handle that?
I can't break it down like that. Like, I don't get into the math of it. I just know that if you have, for instance, like my camera, if you have like say for instance, if I want to shoot this room, it's pretty well lit, but even with the f-stop of 4, if I have my shutter speed like at 125 or 200, it'll come out kind of dim.
Really?
Just because it's still, the shutter speed is high for number 1. The f-stop of 4, I hate it so much, but it still works. And it'll give you a pretty evenly lit, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's kind of like a hit and miss sometimes in that sense.
It's f-stop of 4 is really good outside. Indoors, it sucks terribly.
So have you messed with film?
I have not.
Really?
And I'm so sad that I haven't. I have 2 film cameras.
And you haven't messed with film?
They're broken.
Did you buy it broken or you break it yourself?
Well, okay, so one camera I got from a former coworker. She said she found it, I think, in her house, and she didn't use it. So she said, "Oh, you can have it." I'm like, "Okay." She gave it to me, and it was in a bag, like a giant grocery bag, and it had, I think, 2 lenses, and the camera, I forgot what's broken on there, but that one was broken, and my dad gave me his old camera that he broke. So yeah, I have 2 film cameras that I can't use, and I need to get them fixed. I looked into it. I went to Woodward Camera, and I think I asked them something about how much would it roughly cost to fix one of the film cameras, and they said, well, we have to take a look at it. I was like, oh, drat, I don't have it with me.
Yeah.
I went back. So I forgot. I love your white balance is weird on there though. Maybe it's your phone.
See, and of course, a photographer and you being focusing that, I'm like, I don't know, it looks normal to me.
I mean, I first noticed it like when you set it up. I'm like, oh, it's kind of yellow. And I'm looking like, wait, this is white. Huh.
Oh yeah, it is my phone. It is my phone. My phone has the late night.
Oh, okay.
Yellow haze.
Yeah, I turned that thing off because it freaked me out before. So.
Yeah, it gets annoying when we're like watching TV late night on the phone or a camera or what am I trying to say now? On the laptop. Yes, thank you. I was eventually going to get there. It's just going to take some time. But yeah, like right now it's actually yellow, I think. See, I don't even know because I have nothing to relate it to. But I'm pretty sure it is yellow. And so when I disable it, because I start getting annoyed that it's so yellow, or it turns orange basically at a certain point, I get so annoyed that I'm like, fuck it. So I disable it, and then like how blue it just turns, I'm like, whoa.
Yep. So if you ever look into, like, even I know what I think it's like Sony cams and Fuji films and stuff like that. I know this from working with actual studio cameras when I used to grow up doing video. But if you look into a black and white viewfinder for at least 5 minutes, like at least 5 minutes tops, when you pull your eye out that viewfinder, everything is orange. It has more like a warm, like you're looking, you know how some LA movies like, or even like 24, how it shot out in LA, how it had that warm hue to it. Yeah. That's how your eye looks. Like, that's how you view things.
You're just like blowing my mind. I can't even comprehend what you're even saying to me right now.
So, you know, just looking, if you look at anything black and white for an extended period of time, even if you look at your phone, Just set everything to black and white, and you look at it for nonstop. And then when you pull your eyes off of it and look around, everything will have more of a warmish hue to it.
I'm gonna literally fuck up my eyeballs doing that, testing it out.
It'll go back to normal, like it doesn't adjust back, but it's because I remember the very first time that happened to me. I was shooting, and I know I looked out of it because the environment I was in, everything was blue, and I'm looking like, why does this blue look dirty? Like, what's going on? And I was looking like, okay, this eye sees orange, this eye sees normal. So I'm like, what is going on? I thought I was freaking. I thought I was losing my eyesight at first. So yeah.
That's literally a today I learned right now. Do you know what that Reddit?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
Let's say I'm never on Reddit.
Shit. God, Steven, I'm thinking of you differently now. You don't even know what the freak I'm talking about.
I'm on Reddit.
All right, Steven, we should be streaming normally. I feel like I'm also really fucking loud, but that's not my problem right now. That's not what I'm thinking.
I'm not gonna read any more comments.
Oh, you're reading comments?
No, it's just one. It just says Q&A.
Oh, Q&A. What? Yeah, Q&A. I don't. Yeah. Okay.
Quesadillas and avocado.
Oh yes. Oh, Bucharest's falafel quesadillas for sure, hands down. Muy bueno.
I'm not a huge fan of Bucharest. I mean, I'll eat it if I'm hungry.
You're like our friend Andy Espinoza. We took him to Bucharest because we're like, Andy, because when he first moved here, we're like, this place. First of all, Big Booty Judy's all over the place. They literally hire...
That's their how they get people.
Yeah, their shtick or whatever you call it. Yeah, At first we thought, okay, it's just this one location. Then we went to the next location. It's like, and then we went to another location. And then somebody like on Reddit, you don't know, but there's a subreddit for Detroit. And somebody made like a fake application for Bucharest and says, basically, they're like, one of the restrictions you needed to apply is to have a big booty and to have yoga pants. And that was pretty much it.
Like it has to be at least 4 centimeters in diameter or 4 inches in diameter.
If you're ever in Detroit, even whatever Steven tells you, go to Bucharest. I think it's delicious. He doesn't, but whatever, he's a weirdo. But anyways, they all hire females in the front and males in the back. And most of the females, most of them, not all of them, but they do got a good lump sum. Yeah.
They have wagons.
Yeah, pretty much. And we went to take our friends that just came into town like a couple weeks ago, and we first, of course people say this, but I really truly am not trying to be racist, but I mean, that's just what people say. We went there, we're like, yeah, it's a lot of Big Booty Judy's and all this other stuff, and we're like, and usually there's no white people working there. Of course we go there, and there's like a white girl. We're like, all right, well, I guess I was wrong. But most of the time, it is black ladies with big bottoms, and they make it look good. Actually, it's like sometimes people probably go there just to eye watch.
Yeah, I was about to say. I went in there one late night, and I remember I was like, okay, I'm gonna just observe who comes in because I did order, and then I was mad it took 25 minutes to get my order.
Oh, it took so long.
Yeah, I was upset. I'm like, dude, I could have went somewhere else to get something and been back home by now.
Yeah.
But whatever the case, I had went, and I was like, I'm gonna just observe who comes in. Every person I saw came in was like a dude, probably in his mid-20s to late 40s. Yes. And the first thing I saw their eyes going, it's not at the register, it's straight towards that kitchen. I'm like, okay.
Especially when they're trying to pack all this stuff in the to-go boxes.
And then they purposely, I noticed where they stand at, because it's like, okay, they're slick because they have that gate, number one.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, y'all have a gate that people can see through.
Yep.
Smart advertising.
They know it.
Right. They know how to hook you.
Exactly. So, Steven, when I reached out to Steven to ask you to be my guest, I mentioned a game, like there would possibly be games and stuff. He got really, like, into that. He's like, ooh, games? It's like, I have actually some ideas that I can send you if you don't mind. And so I kind of, like, ignored it. And not like, purposely. I was just more like, oh, okay, if you have any, like, I'm still open for, ideas and stuff. And so I kind of forgot about it. And, like, honestly, when I sent that email, I was more thinking of how I used to do it, where I would have them try random shit. Just something that I hope they never had before in their life. And sometimes it was a hit and miss. Sometimes it was really good. Like this chocolate cheese that Akira ended up eating, and that freaked us out because she could have died because it's chocolate. But there was also, like, Vienna sausages, and it's like, and then there was also this Vegemite. Yeah, it wasn't really
Vegemite?
Yeah, or Marmite. It's like the Australian, whatever Australians fucking do over there. I'm not being rude. It's just, it's just some spread. It's yeast. So basically, like, if you think about, like, barrel beer and then that yeast that kind of coats the siding of the barrels and stuff. Yeah, they just get that stuff and then spread it on their breads or toast. Yeah, it was salty. It was like, you've had soy sauce, right? I'm sure. It was like soy sauce, but in a paste form and very bitter. Very bitter.
Okay.
Acquired taste, I'm sure. But yeah, I was more planning on doing that. So then Steven texted me, like, today? Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
And he sent me these links. What were these links that you sent me?
Okay, so I was at work because I had some downtime, and I saw a link that had Jimmy Fallon games, and I was like, oh, these would be kind of cool because Jimmy Fallon has all the sweet games. It's just, I know sometimes they take a lot of preparation. So, I know they had the Truth or Truth, they had the Word Sneak, they had one that I thought was hilarious. It was called Slapjack. He played it with Kevin Hart, and that jump was hilarious to me. And they had several other games, but yeah, the link just listed everything that they kind of played on there.
And so it was kind of like an idea for me to start rolling with games. And in my head, I'm like, this is cool, and a lot of these seem really awesome. Like the Slapjack, wasn't that the one where like he had like legitimate like a big hand to
like
slap
him? Giant prosthetic hand.
Yeah, and in my head I'm like, okay, there's no way in a day's time.
Look, I almost went to the store to buy those giant foam hands.
Oh, see, you're smart. See, I wouldn't even thought of that.
I almost went to the store, but I was like, I'm gonna wait to hear back from her though.
And I didn't honestly respond until today. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I had an idea actually, and this idea happened last night. So I was feeling really shitty yesterday, just god awful, not good at all. And so Francis was being awesome and was just like, hey, and started like going on YouTube and randomly finding YouTube videos. And what he's like, you have to guess what show this is from. So he's playing theme songs. And so we started doing it, and like for the good amount of time I was getting a lot of them right. I'm like, yes, I got this one right, like I can figure it out. A couple of them I'm like, it's like G.I. Joe, but it's not. And then like I was trying to like figure it out. So a few of them I got wrong. So as that was happening, it kind of started making me feel a little bit better. And so I was like, okay, this is not too bad. Like it was entertaining, but again, at myself being like kind of not feeling good, it was just like, but I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, I'm like, it would be better if I wasn't feeling shitty.
Right.
So as it started going, I'm like, this is like a game to play Steven. I'm like, I don't know if you had cable growing up.
At my grandparents' house.
I don't know if you have cable now.
Yeah, I don't watch too much TV.
See this? Oh, let's see. And
we can make it work though.
And so technically too, I will say this: me and Francis took a bet. There's nothing towards it. I just asked him. I'm like, I'm doing this, and you have 10 theme songs to guess. I'm like, I feel like he's gonna get at least 8 right.
Okay. What's Francis' bet?
Francis thinks you're gonna get half of it right, so he thinks you're gonna get 5.
Right.
So
He might be right.
We're gonna see what ends up. Who's getting closer to this? Please get closer to me, just because I feel better if you get 8 than anything else.
He might be right. The 5 might be legitimate.
Because when I picked these two, I was really having a hard time. I'm like, I don't know if you had cable, didn't know if you watched like animations, didn't know if you watched like family shows of any kind, don't know if you watched like
are these mid-90s?
80s. They're
what, 70s up to
no later than 70. So I think 70 is as late as TV shows go. No, I'm just kidding. But from 70s to 2000.
Okay, you might be
or so. So I mean, and I try to make it somewhat easy. There's a couple there's a trick, and it's in the beginning too. There's a trick kind of, and yeah, I really tried to be as easy as possible because it can be hard, especially me not knowing what you watched or how you were like a child. So okay. YouTube especially might copyright because of the theme songs. Like there was a shoot I did with a Detroit photographer, and it was in this alley, and I did like a behind the scenes, and I posted on YouTube, and so we were playing background music in general during the shoot.
Right.
Yeah, YouTube caught like one of the Drake songs or Rihanna songs, and they're like, nope, gotta silence this video.
Yep, yeah. I know about that.
It's like, really?
There's real sticklers about that.
Heifers. Yeah, super heifers. All right, let's do this. Let's do it.
Now I'm actually nervous. I'm like, wait, what's this? What am I about to get?
I'm nervous for you. No, I'm just kidding. Well, man, I'm not nervous. It's just more, okay. So get my OBS out of the way. Make sure.
I'm thinking about when they had those different things on Jimmy Fallon trying to describe it. Who was it that didn't know who Benedict Cumberbatch was?
A celebrity?
Yeah, he was it Bryan Cranston? I think it was Bryan Cranston. He didn't know Benedict Cumberbatch was a real person. He was like, what is it? He was like, what even is that?
That's interesting. Okay, so I'm not going to show you because it shows the actual thing. Hopefully, actually, I didn't even think if they could actually hear it. So let's cross our fingers that y'all can hear it. Please, everyone on Twitch, let me know if you can hear it. Instagram, I hope you can hear it. I'll have it as loud, so hopefully I'll catch it on my mic, baby. I don't know. We'll play with it. We'll see what happens. Today has just been one of them days. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
So there's 10 songs, or 10, technically 10 songs.
Okay.
Try your best to guess all of them. If you can.
Are they playing one after one or just?
So they're the almost full theme songs, and so I'll play it until the theme song's done. Or you can, if you guess it immediately, just say it, and that makes it easier. Because I think technically this video is 12 minutes and 47 seconds long.
Okay, so let's get it in 45 seconds.
Yeah, basically. So you're not timed technically. You can take as long as you want, but realistically, okay.
I'm just waiting for them to say a word.
I'm just more scared. I want you to get 8 at least, because that's what I betted on you. Okay. It's ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Family Matters.
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, Family Matters. The Paper Boy. Whatever you said after that. Yeah, Family Matters. Wait, what?
Full House.
Full House.
Oh!
Yeah, Family Matters was yeah, that's not the same one. Duh.
Okay, let's skip. So I still can get 8 from this point on.
Can.
I still can get 8. Okay, hold on.
Someone told me it was another F, but
Okay, I'm nervous for you. I'm like, I hope he gets.
I'm gonna say Full House was that, and Family Matters.
Okay, ready?
Okay, yep.
Give it a second.
That's Family Matters.
Yes! I tried to trick you too because it's the same fucking person that sings both of them. And I think he sings another one.
I didn't know okay.
I didn't even notice.
It's the voice.
It's the voice, I think, because like if you listen. And it's the same beat.
That's why.
It's a rare condition.
Yep.
This day and age.
That's what threw me up.
And it's funny because I remember watching these. Not when they first came out because I'm young in comparison, but I remember when they were on reruns and I would watch them and I never really like put the two together that they're so similar as far as theme songs go.
That's why.
Until Francis did it last night and he played Family Matters. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, I'm so confused right now. Oh, good job. Okay, still in the running for 8. 8 on 8. All right, let's zoom past. Hopefully everyone on Twitch can hear. And they're not saying if they can or not, so we're just going to assume they can. Give it a second. I should, like, jot this down.
What show is this? I know the show. I know it's a cartoon. That's just why.
High five.
I'm like, I know this. I'm seeing it in my head.
Oh, man, you're making me nervous. Okay, still in the running for 8 for 8. All right, let's go for it. Let's skip it. Wait. I also had to like add little moments in between each video, so I can make sure that I don't like mess up on the beginnings, especially.
I know this too. Cosby Show. No. Home Improvement.
Woo!
I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm being nice. I could have gave you that wrong. But I'm gonna let it slide.
That was one of my favorite shows, so I don't know how I got that wrong.
Really?
Yeah, I actually enjoy Home Improvement more than Fresh Prince. Yeah, I'm black. I'm not black in that aspect. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I didn't watch them right when they first came out, but I feel like personally I like them evenly. Like they're both.
Oh yeah, they're both great.
Have you seen Tim Allen's newest show?
The Last Man Standing?
Yeah, where it's the opposite.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, like not all the way through though.
It's not too bad. Me and Francis watched a good amount of seasons of it. It's not home improvement for obvious reasons, but I mean, we can appreciate that he tried to do 3 girls instead of 3 boys, and kind of. But there was moments where he of course, he's very strong Republican on the show. I don't know what he's like in real life. I don't care. But it's just sometimes funny. It's just like, did he really just fucking say that? Or sometimes he's very anti-feminist kind of thing. And it's like, what? Sometimes I'm like, take a second, Tim Allen, to really think about what you're saying right now.
Yep.
And I can hear some people well, that's outrageous, and
I mean, it's a sign with the new direction of TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't get offended very easily, honestly. So in my head, I'm like, I'm a female, and he's saying some very rude female things, but I'm like, it's just a fucking show.
Right.
As long as he's not being a total dick in real life, it's like, whatever, I don't care. All right, you got this. You got this. Make me proud.
Long ago in a distant land, I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil, but a foolish
I hope it doesn't.
wielding
I hope it
a
doesn't
magic
say.
sword stepped forward.
Yeah. A lot of these too, I'm like, I hope they don't really give it off.
Was it I know because. See, the funny thing about it is I've only heard Samurai Jack's intro maybe a dozen times.
See, and I feel like I've heard it less than that, and it seems like everyone loved Samurai Jack.
Yeah, it was a good cartoon.
Yeah, there was a couple of points. I never actually honestly watched it. I feel like a lot of people are like, Shima.
No.
Dare you.
No, I didn't watch it faithfully. I just watched it when it was on.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of my case. And now they have the revamp. And actually, Francis and my friend, he actually worked on Samurai Jack. And he came into town to kind of talk to the College for Creative Studies. And everyone was like, as soon as he showed that he worked on Samurai Jack, a lot of the students, they were like, you did what now? And their eyes started glowing and glistening. And I'm like,
it's just
damn.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. Okay. All right. You're getting good. You had one hiccup.
Just one.
Yeah. Okay. If you get this wrong, I'm gonna judge you hard.
This is that's Rugrats. Yeah. I'm about to say this is Doug. Nah.
Rugrats. Oh, that was a good one too. I forgot about that one.
I should have just went all off and be like, "This is. Are you afraid of the dark?"
See, now you're naming all the ones I didn't even think about, actually. Okay. See, I should have had you just pick the...
Yeah, I could have picked them and then just doubled them up like Jeopardy or something.
I had to Google, theme songs or, Google shows for 2000. Because I also, again, I was trying to make it very, random. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't remember what I did yesterday. So, how you think I'm going to remember a random show? All right, let's see. Skipping. Okay. Oh, this is gonna say that.
Yeah, this is definitely Tiny Toons. This Looney Tunes right there.
I didn't realize that it was gonna say.
I was say I wouldn't got the music though.
Isn't this the Beatles? Or no? Sounds like it. A lot of people are like Shima. No. Don't hold back. I'll let that one slide. That was way too easy. But, just in case you were doing horrible in the beginning.
I was.
I'm not ready. Damn.
So I must be at what? One of or.
So you beat Francis for sure.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm at 6.
Yeah, you're at 6.
Okay.
All right, ready? This one might be a little tricky. I didn't get this one right.
Good times.
No.
Recess?
No.
Oh. Duh, I know this. It's not the 8. What the the heck is this show? Oh, I know it. I'm low 18. I know it's not 18. Though.
It is 18.
Oh, okay.
See, don't stout yourself. It was the A-Team. I don't know if it was a show. I just put it on.
It's a show.
Okay. I was like,
it's an old show.
I was like, I just put it on because Princess put it on. All right, you got 2 more. You can do this.
Okay.
Technically, nope. You gotta get 1 more right for me to be right.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. Let me skip. All right, Mr. T, looking good.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do my hair like him.
You should.
I need to grow up here.
And get the chains.
Oh, wait a minute. I know that.
I should apply this video to that with all my fuck ups. And I will win.
I wanted to be on there. Actually, my sister wants to send in a video of me. I used to be in gymnastics. And there's a video of me flying over the vault. And she says I look like a cat when you throw it out the window.
What a good sister.
Yeah, she's such a great sister. But because one of my legs was up and the other one was down. And my hands were down, so she was like, "You look like a cat falling out of the window." So she wants to send it in for that reason.
See, and there was a thing that somebody said that when it comes to the winners of those America's Funniest Videos or whatever it's called, always babies win.
Yeah.
But then it's like babies, and then second place is usually like
Somebody
dogs, that actually somebody getting hurt, and then like animals, and then but like babies for some damn reason.
It's supposed to be people love babies.
I mean,
They're like, oh,
the baby, because yeah, it's funny. I rather do the dog ones and stuff, but you know that's personally me. Yes, you got 8, but
Sweet. Beat
me and get 9. Okay, prove me wrong. Prove me that you're better than what I think you are. I mean, you're really good, but
I'll probably bomb this one.
No. If you bomb this one, let me just show. Don't look. Let me just show everyone else. If he bombs this last one, then I'm gonna judge you hard.
What?
If he bombs, where is it?
I can't look at my phone.
Bombs this one, I'm gonna be so looking at him. Okay, hold on. Let me get my phone in a better angle.
As long as it's not Jeopardy or something or Wheel of Fortune don't even have a theme song.
That's not. I don't even really know. I never really paid attention to the theme songs until last night, and I was like, oh, let me try this. Okay. You can't get this wrong, seriously. Okay, ready?
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Oh.
You're overthinking.
It's a cartoon. Long as it's No. What show was that? It was a cartoon. I know it was a cartoon. I just can't think of what channel. Was it Channel 7? ABC? What was... I know it. I'm about to get judged. I see the I see one of the characters. I just can't think of what show.
Describe him. Describe the character.
I see a boy.
A boy.
I see a boy.
Okay.
With a jacket.
With a jacket.
Not the right cartoon?
I mean, what age is a boy?
It ain't the right cartoon. Alright, what is it?
Futurama.
Yeah, I ain't watched Futurama.
Ah!
I watched, I didn't watch too much Adult Swim. I watched Family Guy, Boondocks.
Ooh, Boondocks. Oh, good one, actually. Huey? Oh, God.
Yeah, I ain't watched too much Futurama.
It's okay. It's
So
fine.
I got 8.
Alright, good job, Steven. You actually got 8.
I got 8.
Beat that, Francis!
Too bad I bound Full House, but you know I got 8.
Yeah, you did. You went ahead. You thought it was Family Matters.
Yeah,
and they
did.
technically did have Family Matters on it.
You tricked me, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. I tricked you really early in the game.
You did.
So let's just go back. So since it is finally streaming, so far everything's good. I want to talk about more about you and photography.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what was recorded in the episode. Who the fuck fucking knows. But with photography,
Taking quick questions.
one of the questions I'm fascinated on is, how do you find your models?
I've always got that question a lot, actually. Okay, so when I first started shooting models, what I was doing. Oh yeah, let me get my mic.
I'm making sure mine can't pick you up, but I can't control that either.
Oh.
I mean, I could, but I really don't want to try no more.
Well, when I first started shooting models, actually, I was just reaching out to random people on Instagram. So
On Instagram, really?
Yep. So I was. Well, okay, I take that back. First, I was using friends, because I was still new to the portrait game. So I'm like, I don't know who will necessarily let me shoot them and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's kind of play around, see what I can come up with. So I used to do random shoots with friends, and then I want to say you were like probably the first person that I actually kind of ventured out and messaged with. So I think you were probably the first, and then after I started messaging you, wait, were you the first?
I'm holding that trophy.
I think you were. I'm trying to feel. I feel like you might have got with me because you saw work I did before, but I can't remember. But whatever the case,
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I was, maybe because I know Ray Trilogy Beats reached out to me to do a shoot and then told me you were going to be part of it, and then that's kind of what that trickled in.
Okay.
So that's just me assuming, but I don't know. I might be wrong too. But I'm gonna hold that.
But yeah, you can hold that trophy. But yeah, I actually after shooting with friends, I started reaching out with people on Instagram. And I was just like letting them know, like, hey, let's shoot sometime or whatever else. And I get a lot of those messages now, actually.
So how do you find like models on Instagram, basically?
So before I was going through like the Motor City Shooters hashtag, or I would go through like the Raw Detroit, or I would click on the actual Detroit location just to see who was in the city. And basically, I was like, okay, I like her look, you know, now because I didn't really shoot male models like that back then. I shoot now everybody, but. I didn't really shoot male models. So I'm like, I like her look. And that's how I kind of got started.
Oh, so I'm trying to think of the questions in my head. When it came down to actually working with some of these models, me being a model and knowing the stereotypical models are flakes and always late and all this other funny stuff, yeah.
Did you see that Get Out gif?
Huh?
Did you see the Get Out gif on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
Where you seen Get Out?
No, I haven't.
I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Just text it to me later, and I'll do it later. But it makes me furious as a model because those people give bad reps, and especially with Instagram and how you're finding models. A lot of those girls or guys, in my mind, they're titled Instagram models, especially when they don't really have much of a portfolio.
Or a comp card.
Or a comp card, or even a legitimate email, or anything that makes them sound professional in the first place. And I've even tried reaching out for those models, too, in the city for my podcast. And some of them have been good. One actually flicked on me on the podcast. It's like, why the fuck? Like, I get whatever. But how many, like, do you deal with that basically a lot, or is it kind of a hit and miss? Is it random?
So, I think because I know I've reached out to a lot in the past. I actually stopped. I haven't reached out to anybody actually in the past several months. Probably since the summer of last year, I haven't reached out. But yeah, I've had a good dozen flake on me before. Because it's like, oh, let's shoot. Actually, okay, this is petty, but there was one person in particular.
We ain't gonna name names, but
we're
talking about you.
We cannot name names, but I created a strike system. So basically, a model has 3 times to flake on me for whatever reason.
That's really very curious.
So, yeah, like if I can understand if like it's a legitimate reason, but if a model like they were like, oh, I forgot, because that's happened to me several times where they're like, oh, I forgot, or I booked something else. I'm like, right off, that's it. I actually unfollowed one model, and then I think she realized it, and then she unfollowed me and then followed me back to like get me to follow her back. I'm like, nope.
That's great. Especially, I appreciate you because when it comes to I forgot or I overbooked, it just basically, and okay, I will take it. I did do a hiccup like that in New York. I had so much scheduling to figure out, and I felt so bad that I totally misscheduled basically. So it's not that necessarily I forgot, it's just I didn't pay enough attention. And I noticed that mistake, and I instantly reached out to that photographer and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I miscalculated my scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
Can we reschedule? Or if you don't want to reschedule, I decided to offer for me to personally find a replacement to showcase that I'm very professional and I realized my mistake and I want to try to fix it. And so he's like, oh, don't worry about it, whatever. And so I, like, in my emails, reach out to this photographer first when I get back to New York because I fucked up and I owe that person. So I appreciate you, though, saying if they basically forgot, it basically is a disrespect to you as a creative because it's like, so you don't either think I'm good enough or you think that you just couldn't remember me. That's kind of... You
couldn't even jot it down? Like, really?
Yeah, exactly. I can totally say that. So I give you applaud for sticking your grounds.
Yeah, it's bad because sometimes I feel bad about it or sometimes I feel petty because it's literally a list of models. I don't even like saying models anymore. I say muses. It's literally like a list of muses in Detroit I won't shoot with now.
Yeah.
Just because they've hit their strike limit. So if they ever reach out to me, I just be like, eh.
So have you ever had models come to a shoot? And because I've gotten a few that told me like stories like this has happened. I don't know if I was one of those moments, but where either the model didn't look how they were supposed to look, so they like...
I thought you was gonna be taller.
Thought me I was gonna be taller?
Yeah, like when I saw it, I was like, oh, she's not as tall as I thought she was. Well, okay, works.
Yeah, I'm short. I'm 5'3".
Yeah, I thought you were at least 5'6".
Take that, agencies.
I've underestimated 2 models. You were one, and the other one was a girl I know.
But did any of them actually realistically not look at all what their photos showcase themselves to be?
There has been 2 that I can think of.
Okay. Because I've heard that happens where either they gain a lot of weight or they lose a lot of weight or their skin is not good at all. I mean, my skin's not good. You want to see my skin? I got acne. It happens. But it's the idea, too, that they either, like, wear too much makeup and when they cam, they look almost dead in the eyes.
Completely different person.
Yeah, and I'm just very curious. Basically.
Oh yeah, I've had 2 people I can literally think of that were they showed up to the shoot and I'm like, wait, are you the same person?
Yeah.
Like, did you send somebody else?
Now there was one time a photographer a while back ago told me that they actually like shooting people that were not models because models are good. Well, they were saying they either like shooting people that aren't models at all or that are professional models, like are legit really good at what they do. They don't like shooting the in-betweens because the ones that are trying to be models, they're trying way too hard to be somebody they're not, and they're not focusing on what makes them look good. They're trying to think of what Naomi Campbell would do in a situation. Have you had those moments? I think
it really varies, or it really depends on what the occasion is about, because it's been times where I wouldn't want to shoot with the model for something, or it's been times where I would want a professional. A lot of times, especially for Instagram stuff, I just don't care. Like, they could be in between, they could be professional or not. You can't forget about the in between people though, because those are the ones who are trying to get to the other level. So, like for instance, I will name him because he's a good friend of mine, and he actually just got signed in Chicago. My friend Jordan.
Good job, Jordan.
It's the funny thing about Jordan. Like the story blows my mind about it, but he was somebody that wasn't even interested in modeling. I remember telling myself I wanted to find a male model, and I used to scroll Instagram for like 2 weeks. I have a whole blog post about it, but I went for like 2 weeks trying to find a male model. Came across him, reached out to him, and thought he ignored me. And then he messaged me back, and then we set up a shoot like a month later. And then that first shoot, I think we took over 800 some pictures.
He was really good then.
He has the most right now in my catalog. My Lightroom. He has over 1,300 pictures in my catalog right now.
Damn, you're feeling him, not in an inappropriate way. You're just feeling him.
Right. But he just recently got signed, and he hasn't worked with really any other photographers. I was the only one he's worked with. So for him to get signed based off the work that we've done, I was like, what? Like when he called me, I remember driving, and I screamed. I was like, shut up, really? So yeah, I'm super excited for him, and he's like a fitness trainer and stuff too. So he does that on the side too. That's his job out there in Chicago too. So
you know the crazy thing, me being a model. Took me 6 years to be where I'm at now, and then there's people like him. Nah, do one shoot, go to agency. Yeah, booked it. It's like, no.
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like that I feel like you in that aspect too, because I've been shooting since 2010 technically. I started taking it more serious in 2015 because I got my new camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, shooting for 7+ years, and I feel like I'm stagnant right now where people have picked up a camera in less than a year and they're doing content creation for GM and everything else. It's like, really?
And it's crazy too, like, because social media does play a good aspect, and I also want to hear your thoughts on social media, because we kind of talked about it here and there during behind the scenes, but it seems like, especially if you already know who you're catering to in the first place and you stick with that, I notice, especially at least for models, I don't know if it's the same for photographers, but I feel like it would be almost similar. You usually get a huge more following versus like me, where I'm just fucking random. One day I'll post boobs, the next day I'll post a super fashion, next day I'll post something that just shows like my nose or something, or the next day I'll do a cure photo. And my fans that follow me on social media don't know what to do with me, because it's all over the place. They don't know if they should block it because it's not safe for work, or they should keep it because it can be, hung in the wall.
Right.
Do you feel that same attitude towards like finding a good gain of social media and stuff?
So, okay, social media is definitely, how can I phrase it? It plays an important part, but you can't let it define it. So, I won't call him a friend. We're like Instagram buddies, kind of. We're in the same group of guys or whatnot. He said, your Instagram feed is not for you. So basically, the stuff that you post on your feed, it's almost like a grocery store. People are coming to your feed for the stuff that they want, not for necessarily what you want to put out there. Like, he takes a lot of dope stuff outside of the stuff that he posts. Just like I'm sitting on hundreds of thousands of images actually, but I can't post everything because for my feed, I know what certain people want. Even though I've been giving them like whatever, I just don't care anymore. Like when I took my hiatus from Instagram. People kind of dub me as the person who made portraits cool in Detroit, and I keep telling them no. They're like, oh yeah, you're the one who made portraits. I'm like, no, that's somebody else who's over there. They're like, no, it was you. I'm like, no. But I was doing mainly portraits in Detroit, and a lot of people knew that because even people in Chicago would tell me. After I took my hiatus, I came back doing minimalism. So it was definitely a shift for people to like, they're like, wait, where's the portraits at? What's going on? Yeah. So when I switched to minimalism, I was doing it for an extended period of time to where it's like, I'm not just a portrait photographer. Even though I was mixing in landscapes too, I'm like, this is more things. Like, I'm challenging myself with minimalism because I don't want to be boxed into just portraits. Just like I didn't want to be boxed into just landscapes. And even now, I threw a couple videos up on my feed because it's like, I do video too. Yeah. So I'm going back to portraits now, but it's like, I'm just trying to show you, even though you're here for portraits, I can do a lot more than just that. So,
and for me personally, I respect you a lot more because of that, where you want to not stick yourself in one particular box. Same with me. I try not to stick myself in one particular box. I know I could make 500,000 followers from just shooting my tits all the time. I know that for a fact. I don't want to do that because also it kind of gets overwhelming doing the same thing over and over and over again and not challenging yourself.
That collection or slide that you posted recently was like 3 days ago?
Yeah, Vicorsi or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last picture in that slide. I was like, okay, Shima. Okay. I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, I know it was like two in particular in there that I really like appreciated because I looked at, whenever I look at pictures, people literally take the Instagram thing serious when it comes to the instant part. Like, they literally double tap scroll. And I won't say I don't do that. But when I definitely see something that catches my eye, I will study a picture.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Like, actually. I will literally scroll, double tap, and then I'm like, oh, wait. And then, like, that's why I run a separate hub page, actually, for Detroit. I call it Ports of Detroit.
Follow now.
We actually did a Insta meet back on April 8th where we just let photographers come out, and we started in Grand Circus Park, walked around from there to Washington Boulevard over to Capitol Park, then to the Belt. But from that hub page, basically, I look for all the different people who visit Detroit or come to Detroit and take pictures. And not necessarily those big accounts where they have like thousands of followers. Like I pick people, I don't care if you got 20 followers. I still will post your work if it's something that moves me enough to want to repost it.
Yeah.
So like usually whenever I do repost it, people are like, oh wow, I didn't expect this. Because I talk about the picture. Like people take time to take the picture or edit the picture. I want to make sure I give it that time in explaining what I like about it and things of that nature.
Yeah, of course.
So even like today, I posted a picture of this guy named Matt. I believe he's from Grand Rapids. He came in for the Insta Meet, and he took a picture of this girl inside the Ranson. And one of the things I appreciated about it that I wrote in the caption was, it's literally like a seamless transition of cool tones to warm from one side of the image to the other. Like I was looking at it trying to find like where it jumps. It literally just effortlessly transitions. I was like, man, I mean, the focus was a tad off, but it still was a good shot overall.
Yeah.
So
and it's cool that you're saying this, and this is reasons why I want like special guests to talk about it, because coming from my aspect and seeing that person that just scrolls like, I almost feel like, because there was one girl I traveled with a while back ago, and she was doing that. And so before I knew that, I would get a like from her. I'm like, cool, I love, like, you love this, that's awesome. But when I noticed that she was doing a scroll like, I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel like you love what I post anymore.
Because a lot of people don't study.
Yeah, you're constantly clicking. And I don't necessarily feel like I study when I like something. Nowadays, since I unfollowed people, the only people I follow is family. When I unfollow people, if I like your stuff now, talking to all of y'all, if I like your stuff, if you see l.shima _model like something, just know it means that I truly liked that photo, because I actually took time to go on your profile and search your name
to see what you were doing,
and then stalk you for a good minute or two just to see, hey, what is Steven up to today? Oh, damn, Steven. Oh. And like I'll do it, and I feel like that's more genuine.
You're right.
It is. At least for me. And it makes me feel a lot better. Even though they might not know it, they might think, oh, l.shima might just be one of those scrollers. But truly, for myself and my sake, and it makes me realize who I actually technically care about in a sense. Some people I will forget for 5 months, and then I'll randomly see them back again. I'm like, oh, let me see what. We'll use Claire as an example because she'll be here 2 weeks, and like go randomly look at Claire's. But it's just, it feels like it's more genuine that way versus those ones that constantly like.
Yep.
And there's the ones like my fans. I'm sure there's fans of mine that truly do like everything that I put out there, and that they're gonna support me no matter what I throw out, even if it is of my toenail. I'm sure they're gonna like it no matter what. And those are the people that I still have respect for. Like those ones that liked my videos. Like my videos don't get as much likes versus like photos do.
They get a lot of views, but not necessarily.
Yeah, likes. And so when I do notice the ones that actually liked the videos, like the video I posted of you today, I'm like, I have much more respect for you. I don't care if you want to just like everything, but you at least took the time out of your second to just like this video.
Right.
It's like, okay, I appreciate you for that. And so it's interesting to hear your side of that.
I wish I could remember what picture I put the caption under, but somebody told me that they enjoy reading my captions under my pictures because sometimes it has nothing to do with the picture. Like I literally just say whatever, and it may be okay. So if I do relate it to the picture, I always put like a side thought or a sidebar under that caption. So it could be like the picture of a sunset. I could be like, oh, this is a look at the colors or reflect on life or something like that. And then the sidebar would be like, I had a peanut butter and jelly and I ended up finding one of my own hairs in it or something like that. I just throw something random in there. But one of my captions for one of my pictures actually said something along the lines of, everybody has that one person that when they like their picture or even comment on the picture, it makes them feel special. Like everybody else can comment, like somebody can get 96 comments a day, and I've seen it from friends of mine, but they can get like 96 comments. But if that one person in particular comments on it, all those 90 other 95 or whatever is like, that one person said something. So this girl or this lady that I met in Chicago, met her once, and sometimes I even struggle to remember her face, but her name is Randa. She actually she likes my picture. When she likes my pictures and comments on them, I actually feel something special. I'm like, man, I told her too. I was like, that one person for me is Randa.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, I didn't know this or whatever else. So now if she still comments, it like still makes me feel special. Aww. So and then another friend of mine, I told her person that you're her. Okay, that's confusing. Never mind.
But you have another person, basically.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't. Friend of mine.
Oh.
Her person is a friend of ours.
Yeah,
I said, this is your person or whatever else. And then they just kind of hugged and whatever else. So.
See, I feel like me thinking about who makes me like giddy inside if they liked or comment my stuff doesn't, like, I wish mine was so like almost genuine. Like, I'm not saying mine aren't genuine, but like yours was literally what other people would be like, that's so random. Like, that person seemed like you met her one time. Like, that's so crazy. That's a random person that you wouldn't think somebody would get giddy about. Mine, on the other hand, I will say, like, it's happened a good, well, I wouldn't, like, can be conceited and say it happens every time. It doesn't happen every time. Because obviously that's the person that, like, makes me giddy. When Chris Vongaswat likes a photo of mine, or even comments, I'm like, yes! Because he's such a good guy. And it's like, I've met him, I've worked with him 1 or 2 times, I can't remember. And then I've met with him last time I was in New York. And there's actually a good amount of people that follow me. They're like, what? You worked with Chris Vongaswat? That's amazing. What? And even I think Claire was going to fly to New York just to shoot with him. Like, just for him. And so but overall, it's just because he's a really great guy. I don't care if he was a really great photographer or whatever the case might be.
It's just the fact he's a great person.
Yeah, and his knowledge in photography and just in life in general. Like, when I met with him in New York just to chat with him, not looking to get anything out of it, I just wanted to meet up with a whole bunch of people. And he was one of them. I learned a lot from just sitting down and having coffee with him. And it was very beneficial for me just to have that moment. And the other person is a company called Under LA, who actually, his name is Ty, but he's basically my reason for him being my giddy person was because he saw something in me from the very, very beginning. And he, is a clothing company, so he gave me free clothes basically just to shoot in, that whole trade agreement type stuff.
Right.
But his aesthetic and his eye and what he saw made me appreciate him even more. And even talking to him and hearing his views on social media, and he, like how you said, I don't care how many followers you have, as long as you're putting out good content, that's all that matters. And he's the same way. He's like, I don't care if you have 5 followers, I only care if your aesthetic is awesome and badass.
Right. I'm
gonna like root for you in the long run. And that's exactly what he did. And so when I see something of Under LA that liked it, I'm like, yes!
He's like, yes, I made it.
I know, I did good. I did good in this one. And then sometimes, like, Francis never, he likes in person. He's never on Instagram. But when Francis's random art friends like stuff, I almost get a little giddy just because it's like, hey, your friends like my photo. It might be an inappropriate photo, but he liked it or she liked it.
Nonetheless.
I know. But yeah, social media is a very weird space. But one of the things I noticed is your tweet game is hot. You tweet like every few hours.
That's because I'll be bored sometimes.
Yeah, that's literally you just grab your phone and just start tweeting random things.
Or if I just have random thoughts, like, okay, so Twitter, back in years ago, I used to goof off on Twitter years ago. And then there was a time frame where I didn't even use Twitter. Like, I forgot I had a Twitter account.
Yeah.
So when I came back twice, actually. One time I came back, I was on it for like a good week, and then I fell off again. But this time when I came back, I basically kind of started using it as my journal, just because it's like, no people aren't really on here paying attention to my tweets.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just using like a journal. So, but yeah, I just get on there and say whatever. Honestly, like, I vent. I don't necessarily subtweet, but if you see me saying something, it's because something I either thought or experienced.
And see, that's because my prior episodes with Be Cool and having guests, Twitter was one of the biggest places where I would try to go find content. I basically stalked my special guests for a good amount of time. And when I got to your Twitter, I'm like, nope, just gonna know, Brett, this is a little intense. There's just tweets for days.
Yeah, I be, especially if it's like if I'm going on a inspirational rant or somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, I could tell. So I know, and I really appreciate it, Stephen. We went over an hour as far as like the time start and all the crazy aspects, but I don't want to, because I literally do have notes, but I don't want to keep you forever. But I also want to show people the behind the scenes that you did with Shelby, because a new thing I was doing for Hourglass. that makes it different from Be Cool is to kind of capture more of your life and how my special guests are and what makes them you. So you haven't seen this video. You've only seen the little ad that I posted on social media and that you posted as well. So I realize you can't hear the music when it plays on here, so I'm just going to play it here. Hopefully OBS will be on my side. And then I'm going to also play an actual video for you in real life, so you can at least have, because I mean it's nice to have the music to it. It's like I watched it without the music, it's kind of like boring. Because it's just like,
videos
yeah, like you need sounds.
If you watch a horror movie with no sound, it's not even scary.
Yeah,
Like,
true. That's actually true.
So.
And if you don't hear like that suspense, like
right.
da-da-da-da-da.
I forgot what movie used to freak me out. And I watched it one time without no sound. I was like, this thing is whack.
And it's straight true.
I was with her, Heather, and what was the other guy's name? Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
They decided to, do a photo shoot in god awful weather. And it was like -4 or something, or at least felt
It
like.
was so cold.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna hop out the car, take some pictures by this building, and then we're gonna come back. I was like, y'all have fun, I'm staying in the car.
Yeah, we stayed in the car the whole time.
I was like, look, I don't do cold weather, so it's not happening. sorry. I'm a meat eater all the way. I got teeth, man. I like to grind meat all day. That's what she said.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone what it was to add that. While I was editing that video, every time I got down to that part, because I knew I wanted that in there, I just didn't know where to put it. Because that happened in the beginning, that little ending towards that video where he's basically saying he said, she said thing. That happened in the beginning of our day, and when I was like, I know I want to put something funny in here. But I'm like, and it was towards the end. Like, I felt like that was appropriate. Like, it was almost like if somebody felt offended, they could, like, leave by that point. And so it was, like, one of those, like, you stay to the end to watch. And so,
it's like a Marvel thing.
Exactly. And so by the time, like, every time I was editing, I kept watching. So I've watched this video, like, 50 times. And when I was doing that, every time I would get to that point, I would, like, laugh. Like, I even knew it was coming. I think it was just hearing your laugh and just being in that moment of realizing, like, oh, I just said something kind of inappropriate. But I'm gonna go with it. So everyone, if you have any questions towards that video, Instagram, you might not, because again, I can't see you. So I'll check Twitter in a second if you do have questions. But everyone on Twitch, if you have questions towards that behind the scenes or what Steven does, feel free to start bombarding us, because I will be wrapping after this soon. So Steven, with that behind the scenes, what was your intentions, basically? What created that shoot?
Shelby created that shoot.
Really? Shelby's the model, right?
Yep, Shelby, so me and Shelby have like a relationship where it's like, hey, let's do this. And it's like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, one of us is like, hey, she created a board on Pinterest. She created a board on Pinterest where she literally sent me, I forget how many pictures were on that board, but I screenshotted them and made it into like a grid just so I can like have like 4 slides instead of like 20 million different slides.
Yeah.
So out of these slides, we haven't done any of them yet, but when I told her that you wanted to do behind the scenes footage, I was like, let's throw something together. She was like, okay, I want to do something with the veil. I was like, okay, let's do it. That was pretty much it. I mean, and the mail people hated on us by not delivering the package on time, but it came. Literally, she got home and it was at her doorstep.
I'm sure that's what I was like worried about. This mic was it's gonna come like after this episode was done. But so with that, what was your response when you realized, okay, your main prop wasn't gonna be there? How did you handle like that stress factor or that hiccup or whatever else you would call it?
I'm always, what's the word? Is it ingenuity? No, not innovative. Sure, we'll go with that. I like to always try to find a workaround to whatever. Like, even when I used to work in the plant, they'd say, oh, something's broke. I'd find a way to work around it. So it's like even if I knew what was going on here, I would find a way to work around. So
and you were just sitting there like, I'm just letting l.shima.
Yep, this all your show. So you know what? But no, I like literally just because the prop didn't come and it sucks that we didn't get to use it.
Yeah.
I knew that we could still try to work with something just because Shelby's a great model, so we would have been able to use that green couch. We could have played with cushions for all we care and came up with something. So literally it's just as long as the model was up for it, and then even with me being the photographer, if we have a vision that whatever we can try to come up with would be good, it's fine. I mean, granted, not everything we do is great. Not everything we do is post worthy, but still is, as long as you have the right mindset, it's cool.
And it keeps you active, keeps your brain moving and flowing.
My brain never stops.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, I have so many ideas.
Yeah, my brain stops, but then like overthinks about other things that shouldn't even be thinking about in the first place.
Yep, that sounds like me. I was looking at that plant, for instance, and just thinking gobo. You know what gobo is?
No, I don't.
Gobo is a photography method term / type deal. It's a technique almost. Basically, it stands for go between. So basically, it's when your light source, when you have something between your light source, your subject, when you have something between your light source and your subject. So the light, and then you're the subject, and then the gobo will be the plant.
Oh, so like if I put my hand here, my hand would be the. Oh, I didn't gobo.
So basically, like if I was able to pull up some of the images I did with like Cassandra when I went to Denver, we used the shades in her apartment, of course, because shades create an awesome gobo effect. Basically, where the sunlight was coming through and different parts of her were shady, and then it just has this awesome effect on her. So
That's like I'm like honestly just
I'm gonna
amazed.
pull up one. even though they ain't gonna be able to see it.
Because I never even knew there was a term for that, and now I'm like,
I didn't
I'm
either,
gonna say
honestly.
go-go all over the place. Hey babe, did you see that go-go?
Look,
I'm
I did
say-
not know either until late last year.
That's interesting. That's really cool, actually, because just even hearing, and again, this is why I like to have special guests, just to kind of share these random, like, in my mind, they're Today I Learns. That's Reddit for you. But it's literally, like, you learn everything new.
Go-Bo. That's one of my favorite images from that day.
Oh, you can't see, because,
Yeah.
you're, ooh, it's like a rainbow. The reflection on your phone is like a rainbow. You can kind of see it.
I'll pick a better one, but that's my favorite one from that day.
So we ended up just going to Joann's real fast, and that was not scheduled at all.
There was not.
At all. And so Joann's
better
can come
call.
in handy as far as finding random things and fabrics and items and stuff.
Which I know nothing about.
And you wanted a crown, though.
Yes.
And did you find the crown you were looking for?
No, so you pointed out some styrofoam crown.
Yeah, some like little child styrofoam.
It was like
glue
green.
on.
It was like not even bigger than my hand or something like that. But I remember you pointed that out. I didn't get it, but I probably should have because it probably would have made some great pictures.
It would have been interesting.
It would have. But yeah, we ended up doing a floral crown type deal.
Yeah, a floral thing.
Yeah, like I don't even know what the purpose of that thing actually was. We just turned it into a crown.
You did something with it, and then there was one where it was lit up.
Yeah, I still didn't. I need to go mess with that.
See, he ended up getting this like floral wired light up thing, and then it had batteries, like a battery case, but it had a screw, and he didn't have
They
a
screwed us.
screwdriver. And so he tried to use a
A
knife.
knife, and it didn't work.
And that didn't work. And then he almost tried to like pop it off. I'm recording all of this. Like I'm like literally just following him around, doing whatever he does best. And so watching him do all this, I'm like, you're gonna break this thing.
I should have just broke it because it's like, man, I wanted to use those lights or see how they looked at least.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play with them now because I think they're in my car.
But they turned because there's that photo that I showed on the behind the scenes of, and what she was holding is those lights, and it still turned out amazing. As far as your editing goes, how does that? Because I know we talked about it at that time when I was recording you, but how is your structure for editing? Do you just like throw photos in Photoshop, go through them all, and then pick something and then start going crazy, or do you have a little bit more of a actual flow and structure to it?
I'm not very structured when it comes to stuff like that. So, what I used to do, which was a bad method, I used to like literally take the stuff from before I started dumping the stuff from the SD card to the hard drive. I used to just pull the stuff right off the SD card. Terrible thing to do, but I used to do that. Then when I started dumping the stuff onto the hard drive, I wouldn't upload everything into Lightroom. So I was literally going through Lightroom or through my hard drive, meticulously picking which ones I want to put in the Lightroom. That's stupid too. So now what I do is literally from a shoot, no matter how many pictures are in there, I will dump everything into Lightroom, and then I will just go through each one and see what I like. And then after I go through each one, then I'll scroll back to the start, and then I'll basically just start editing the ones that I remember stuck out to me.
Yeah.
I won't flag them right then and there. I don't ever flag anything until I actually edit it, because that lets me know that it's done and that it's ready to be exported. So sometimes I'll rate them, and rating them kind of shows that it's something that intrigued me. But other times I just literally flag, and that's about it.
It's interesting, honestly.
That's why I hate weddings, because weddings, I take over 1,000 pictures, and then I have to go through all 1,000. And then they sometimes get, I think the most I've ever given for a wedding was upwards of 400 something pictures.
Really?
Oh, I was so mad.
Man.
I was so mad with that one. Because I think I'm not getting into that one.
Steven, seriously. This episode couldn't have got any better or worse. Whatever. Couldn't have got better or worse. I seriously appreciate you sticking more than an hour. You literally were here for almost 2 hours. Seriously.
They don't even seem like 2 hours, so I've had fun. So.
Yeah! You hear that? I might be having a hell of a time, but Steven is having a different hell of a time.
Right.
Steven, seriously, I appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate
This was
being on
amazing.
the show.
I wish I could ask more questions. There's like abandoned buildings, setting up shoots, studio versus location, Lightroom, which kind of got
You can do a
Sims.
lightning round.
Huh?
You can do a lightning round.
Ooh, okay. Lightning round. I hope this is recording. If it's not, I don't know. It's too late for me right now. Abandoned buildings. What's your favorite abandoned building in Detroit?
St. Agnes, but it's closed.
Oh man, is that the white building that I showed in the behind the scenes? Okay, different one. Okay, setting shoots. What's your main thing that you need in your shoots?
Natural light.
Natural light. Studio versus location.
Location.
Oh, okay. Lightroom. You already talked about it. Sims. What's something about Sims?
Sims?
Yeah, the video game.
Sims 2.
Sims 2. It's all about Sims 2. Test driving cars.
My old job.
Ooh. Okay. We're talking about social media. Photography groups. You already talked about your... shout out to your photography group, actually. What is it
Which
again?
one?
I don't know. I forgot now.
The one that I'm in with all the different guys.
Yes.
They call it Cheers Beers mugs.
Cheers Beers mugs.
Yep.
That's interesting. I'm going to have to stalk that one for a bit. Detroit
Oh,
Sea.
wait. That was like an actual DM group.
Oh, so you can't be part of it.
Oh, you're talking about the hub.
Yeah, it's
That's
the hub.
close to Detroit. Okay. There you go.
Okay, and then favorite Detroit area, just in general, like food, place, scenery. It says Detroit scenes.
Hard to say.
Oof.
I was about to be so lazy and be like, my house.
There you go, his house, just down the street, actually,
Right
for
down
me.
the street.
Photography 101. What is a good life lesson for people looking into getting into photography?
Take risks.
Oof. And then
Trial and error.
I got Tweet Game serious. Inspiration. Who's your inspiration?
Steph Rhodes. She's always my inspiration. She goes by Steph Rhodes Photography. Or no, actually Steph _ Rhodes on Instagram.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Follow her.